93 WIBC, it's Terry Stacy. Well, in the midst of all of the anger and the fighting and the sadness in the last few months, there also has been a lot of good stories that sometimes don't get much attention. Individuals and businesses that have really stepped up to help our fellow Hoosiers. And I'm going to put a spotlight right now on McFarling Foods because they are one of those companies that has been doing some really good work. And joining us now is Jason Acquisto. He's from McFarling Foods here in Indy. Jason, what a pleasure to meet you. How are you?
Good. Thank you for having me, Terry. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Absolutely. You really caught my attention when you started doing Food Drop Fridays, feeding Hoosier heroes. Are you still at that? Are you still doing it?
Yes, we are. Thank you. We are still doing it. We felt like it was what we were supposed to do. And we have food. We can help with what we have. And so we decided early on in the pandemic to salute some Hoosier heroes, everyone from frontline healthcare workers at some hospitals and some ERs, and then also, EMTs and first responders. And now we are going to be helping out some folks that are doing things that don't get thanked, such as helping set calendars for our kids to return to school. This is a thankless job, as you might imagine. Right now, everyone has a better idea than school administrators about what should happen. And so we decided Food Drop Friday, we would treat some school administrators to some free lunch. So that is our next stop at Food Drop Friday.
I just love the idea. I really do. And so many of those food drops have stopped when, COVID is obviously still in the news and the numbers are starting to rise again. But I'm not sure many people are still feeding those frontline heroes. And so I think it's really awesome that you're doing it. It's a morale booster for the company itself, isn't it? I mean, for McFarling Foods, this is really a feel-good thing for everybody that's employed there.
Absolutely. We take a lot of pride in being a local, community-based company. I mean, we are an ESOP, actually. We own our own company, and we're different from some of the competitors of ours because we were able to dig in and really get involved with our neighbors and be a local, community-based company. We sell to restaurants. And so we were able to get involved with local independent restaurants and get involved with what's happening here. During the pandemic, that industry was hit pretty hard. So we decided to help out with whatever we could to help market their carryout services and so forth. And then, like you said, Food Drop Friday being something we could do for the community at large. And it does boost the morale. It makes us feel like we're doing a little bit more or different things to help in the way that we could. Like I said, we have food. Let us help out with what we have.
During that time when restaurants were shut down, it just came to me that you guys probably took a hit too, right?
Well, yes and no. Yeah, I mean, we had to kind of pivot, like a lot of Indiana companies did. We pivoted to another strategy, and we were fortunate to be awarded the USDA Farmers to Families Food Box Grant that we were able to kind of pivot our daily operations into doing this food box distribution to local food pantries. So that's a whole wow. New kind of business model that we took on. We really had to kind of stop on a dime what we were doing and start doing this instead. And then at the same time keep serving our customers. And like you said, a lot of customers were closed temporarily. Okay, we still got you over here. But in the meantime, we're going to be using our trucks and our logistics to distribute this food airmarked through the USDA for food pantries to where they need to go. And so we got to know a lot of our neighbors that we didn't know through food pantries and form these lasting relationships because, like you said, during a time of crisis, a lot of times the instinct is to triage and to fix what's needed immediately. But we put together some partnerships that we are very intentional about continuing after things ease up and after they get back to quote unquote normal, whatever that is. We're still in this. We're still in the community, and we will be here for the long haul.
For a lot of you that you see the McFarling trucks all over the city, and I guess I didn't realize that you were a local company. How many employees do you have?
We have about 100 employees total.
Oh, so it's not big. It's not a giant company.
No, we just like to strut around and act like we're big. Our brand is big. So there you go.
Your brand
Yeah.
is big because we do see you all over downtown. At least, I mean, that's my commute is from the east side to downtown. So I see those trucks all over downtown, and I just assumed you were a big, giant company. But 100 employees, that's still a pretty small business. And the work that
yeah.
you're doing makes it look like you're a giant business, especially as connected as you are to the community now. You know, you mentioned those partnerships with the food pantries here in Central Indiana, the Farmers to Families Food Box Program. There's programs and resources for the Hispanic community. But what is going on with the MLT outreach that is new to me? So tell me about that one too.
Sure. Well, they were one of our recipients of the initial phase of the USDA food boxes. So we got to know what they're doing. This is a food pantry and then some. You know, it's a community outreach center providing lots of different resources for the neighborhood. And we realized that there's much more that we could do. The food box program was an entry into what they do, and how can we help? Let's have this conversation. And it's a great example of getting involved with the community and really getting to know them. So they told us about this project they had coming up. They're going to build a community garden.
Oh,
so right, it's a great idea because, it's a business that will employ, several area youth, neighborhood youth, teenagers that are looking for not just a part-time job to make a few bucks, but also that will give them something positive and constructive to do. It will also teach them. They are having an entrepreneurial program going on, business classes, teach by accredited personnel, and there's also going to be academic credit given for this horticulture, this business class project that's going on. This community garden is going to do the main thing, which is provide fresh produce for that east side neighborhood on a monthly basis. Twice a month, they're going to harvest fresh produce and give it out to the community. But it's also going to offer this program academic and employment for area youth. And so it is the kind of thing that you think, wow, that's a long-term investment we can make. We've got trucks, we can drop off food, and we'll keep doing that. But how about this? How can we really dig in and put our money where our mouth is and invest in our own backyard? So we asked them that question. They said, well, we need help getting started with this garden. We need to build it. We need some supplies. So we made that our contribution, our partnership to help them launch that. We even got a big novelty check and wrote the amount on it and everything. It was really fun to get that partnership put together. And so that's starting as we speak. They're turning their little plot of land into a beautiful garden there at MLT Outreach.
Oh, I just think it's really terrific. Absolutely, you can feed people, but I think we've learned, if you can teach them how to feed themselves, it even goes farther. And to know that young people are involved and giving them something to do and something to be excited about. And I just love that idea. Again, that construction on that garden has begun, and we hope that we understand that it could be operating by next month. So it's all good news. Jason Acquisto, Marketing Director at McFarling Foods, a local company that has really done some amazing things here in the last 6 months when it comes to their contribution to our community. Again, a local company that needs to put a spotlight on right now because, not all news is bad news right now. There is some good news, and we're just so very lucky to have McFarling Foods here in Indianapolis. It's terrific. Jason, thank you. Thank you for sharing the story. We applaud all of you. Thank you for what you're doing because it only makes life better for all of us here in this community. So thank you very, very much.
Thank you for having me, Terry. I appreciate it.